Coming up, more Trump controversy. President Trump faces backlash for claiming President Obama bugged Trump Tower. Find out how the FBI is responding. Straight ahead.
And a new travel ban. President Trump signs another executive order today. Find out how the ban will impact international travelers. District Wire News starts right now.
Good evening. I'm Grace Galvin.
And I'm Amaya Turner. FBI Director James Comey is asking the Justice Department to reject President Trump's claim that Obama ordered for the Trump Tower to be wiretapped prior to the election. Comey made the request Saturday, arguing that the claim is false and implies the FBI broke the law. An official statement from the Justice Department or Comey has not yet been released. Natalie Hutchinson reports.
On Saturday morning, President Donald Trump tweeted out accusations that former President Obama illegally wiretapped the Trump Tower during last year's presidential campaign. Despite having zero evidence, the White House has since not backed down on the claim. Political and national security experts are showing their concerns for the president's seemingly impulsive actions.
I think we have to recognize that Donald Trump has begun to treat some very, very serious accusations of former President Barack Obama. He's basically accused him of being a felon. This seems to be a man who is far too driven by the emotions of the moment.
A spokesman for the former president denied the claim on Saturday. Meanwhile, the use of Twitter for important issues continues to be a topic of debate.
Twitter is not a forum where you can get into much depth and, to try to squeeze important points into that space. I think anyone reasonable would know that's not the place to do it. As I point out, I don't think this is a partisan issue. I think there are plenty of Republicans concerned too.
I think that people have to be extremely worried about whether Donald Trump actually has the basic intelligence, the character, the integrity, the temperament to be the leader of our country.
For District Wire News, I'm Natalie Hutchison.
North Korea is facing backlash after it fired 4 banned missiles into Japanese waters. The missiles were launched earlier this morning as part of a series of test launches and landed in the Sea of Japan. Japanese officials are saying the tests are dangerous and violate UN resolutions, while North Korea continues to push for a stronger nuclear program.
The shootings of a Sikh man who was shot Friday is being investigated as a hate crime. Police officials are searching for the gunman who told the victim, "Go back to your country," before firing his gun. The victim, who was a U.S. citizen, was in his driveway when he was approached. He has since been discharged from the hospital and is expected to make a full recovery.
There have been a series of robberies in Montgomery County using machetes. The incidents have been going on since last month. Montgomery County is considered to be the richest and safest county in the state of Maryland, which is why most residents and business owners in the area are concerned. Some of the areas affected by these robberies include Bethesda, Chevy Chase, Kensington, Silver Spring, and Rockville.
An SUV struck a Southeast D.C. apartment complex early this morning. Police believe the vehicle was involved in a hit-and-run crash before driving into the parking lot and hitting the building. Some residents say a strong gas smell filled the air. Crews discovered the truck ruptured a gas line, causing early morning evacuations.
One of D.C.'s busiest fire stations is reopening today, following a $9 million renovation. Mayor Muriel Bowser cut the ceremonial ribbon this morning at the reopening of Engine Company 16 in Northwest Washington. The historic station was first built in 1932 and was Washington's first 4-bay firehouse.
For weeks, an army of volunteers has been standing by at the Dulles International Airport to prepare for a travel ban update. Today, the White House issued a new executive order. Kelvin Henry is live at the airport with more details. Kelvin?
Thanks, guys. Amid a busy weekend where President Trump accused the Obama administration of wiretapping him without laying out any evidence to his claim, he is back in the news again when just minutes ago he signed his long-awaited revised travel ban. Thanks, guys. Amid a busy weekend where President Trump accused the Obama administration of wiretapping him without laying out any evidence to his claim, he is back in the news when just minutes ago he released his long-awaited, controversial, revised travel ban. You can call it a partial ban 2.0. The Trump administration signed his second executive order addressing what he sees as an important immigration problem. 6 weeks ago, the Trump administration signed an executive order addressing immigration from 7 Muslim-majority nations. The previous plan didn't hold up to legal muster and was rejected by a 3-judge panel in a Washington state court. There was confusion about the previous plan and its implementation. Today's current plan is complex, but volunteers at the Dulles Justice Coalition are helping travelers navigate their way through the order. Miriam Sadiq, the legal counsel for the Dulles Justice Coalition executive order, does not address national security.
My hope is that the courts will see behind, like they did the first time, that this is not, in fact, about national security.
Travelers at Dulles Airport have opinions on what the purpose of this ban is. Jacqueline Trace believes there was one reason for the executive order.
As a shock factor to get people to pay attention.
This latest ban will not go into effect until March 16th. It notably is missing Iraq from the list of 7 Muslim-majority nations. We are working on confirming right now reports that the Prime Minister of Iraq lobbied the Trump administration to have their country removed from the list. Kelvin Henry, District Wire News.
President Trump signed a new immigration order this morning. This executive order is an updated version that replaces his January order, which was blocked by a federal court. One major change is that Iraq has been removed from the list of countries placed on a travel moratorium. The order states that Iraq presents a special case and explains how the Iraqi government has worked with the United States to combat ISIS. Since President Trump's initial immigration order, Iraq has also taken steps to enhance travel documentation, a major concern for the 6 countries that remain on the list.
Attorney General Jeff Sessions is looking to maintain private prisons in the U.S. This comes as President Trump is looking to crack down on illegal immigration. Although the percentage of inmates has declined in recent years, Sessions says this is for future needs. Majority of the undocumented immigrants are serving their time in low-security facilities, who will likely be deported after they finish their sentences.
Hundreds of Marines are reportedly under investigation after nude photographs of female service members and veterans were shared online. The photos were spread through a private, male-only Facebook group with thousands of members. The Marine Corps has asked Google and Facebook to delete accounts linked to the material, and investigations by the Naval Criminal Investigative Service have begun.
Maryland House has approved a sick leave bill. Now it is up to the Senate. This bill, which was approved Friday in the full House of Delegates, will require Maryland employers to give sick leave to workers. The House voted 88 to 51 to approve the measure, and the Senate Finance Committee passed a slightly different version of the bill that will be considered by the full Senate next week.
A heated Supreme Court case from Virginia is going back to the lower court. Last week, the justices delivered an opinion on the latest controversy over Virginia's voting district lines. Craig Canyon reports.
The U.S. Supreme Court is giving new hope to a challenge by African Americans in Virginia. Challengers say lawmakers packed 12 legislative districts in Virginia with black voters to make other districts what they're calling more white and Republican. David Smith of U.S. Black Chambers Incorporated says there is a need for more political awareness in this situation.
I think that, it means that we need to be more aware of what our political process looks like. I think oftentimes we're playing catch up. So I think we need to be more focused on who's in office, what their agendas are, and make sure that we're organizing as a community ahead of time to make sure that our voices are heard.
The Virginia Leadership Institute provides training for African Americans to gain a seat at the political table. The founder, Krista Jones, says the challenge is a good thing for the African Americans in Virginia.
When you pack African American voters, and generally African Americans do still tend to vote for African Americans. So when you pack African American voters in certain districts, you're not allowing that representation throughout the state. So from the perspective of the Virginia Leadership Institute, this is good because it's important that we find ways to make sure that blacks have a say in different districts throughout the state.
The 7-1 ruling is a temporary victory for challengers. Justices are sending the case back to a 3-judge trial court to re-examine their criteria to determine if legislature is in violation of setting racial targets. Craig Cannon, District Wire News.
Coming up, fixing the metro system. Find out how the latest fixes are impacting riders on the blue and yellow line. Will your commute be impacted?
And another Uber controversy. Find out how Uber is using a secret tool to evade law enforcement. Will people in DC start using other ride services like Lyft?